120 minutes, 80,000 people, and the two best teams on the planet locked in a war of nerves. A red card changed everything. A disallowed goal nearly changed it back. A halftime show divided football. And a 39-year-old legend chased one final miracle that never came. In the end, the winner was decided by a substitute who had barely scored all tournament. One swing of his boot in extra time ended a nation's 16-year wait. This is the story of the 2026 World Cup final. First, the stage. This was the last of 104 matches, 5 weeks of football across 3 countries, 48 teams, the biggest tournament the sport had ever staged. And the two nations left standing were exactly the two you'd have picked on paper. Argentina against Spain, the number 1 ranked team in the world against the number 2. Argentina walked in as defending champions, chasing history, win this, and they'd become only the 3rd nation ever to retain the World Cup. And they had the one man capable of dragging them there, Lionel Messi, 39 years old, playing in his 3rd World Cup final, closing out the most decorated career the sport has ever seen. Spain arrived from the other direction. European champions, chasing a first World Cup since 2010. They hadn't lost a single match all tournament, and across the entire competition they had conceded just 1 goal. Their pressing was relentless, their defense a locked vault, and at the heart of it all was 19-year-old Lamine Yamal, the most talked-about player on earth. Argentina had gotten here on nerve, surviving one knockout drama after another, most memorably a late comeback against England in the semi-final, sparked by Messi and finished by Lautaro Martinez. Spain had gotten here the opposite way, no last-gasp escapes, just control, match after match, squeezing teams until there was nothing left. Kickoff at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, and from the first whistle Spain did what Spain does, took the ball and refused to give it back. Yamal tested Emiliano Martinez inside 4 minutes. Marc Cucurella won corner after corner. Spain pinned Argentina deep and would not let them out. Pedri dictated tempo from deep, Dani Olmo drifted into pockets no defender wanted to follow, and Yamal kept running straight at the Argentine backline. Argentina had a plan. Sit deep, absorb, hit Spain on the counter, and trust Messi to conjure something when it mattered. The counter never came. In the entire first half, Argentina did not register a single shot and had 0 touches inside Spain's box. Messi had just 15 touches, Yamal, by contrast, had 26. Spain outpassed them by nearly 150. Argentina's one real chance came in the 5th minute, when Julian Alvarez sent Messi through with only the keeper to beat, but Unai Simon got there first. Halftime, 0-0, Spain utterly dominant. Then came the interval everyone had been arguing about for weeks, the first ever World Cup final halftime show. Billed as 11 minutes of performance, the surrounding break stretched closer to 30, well beyond the usual 15, as a full stage was built and dismantled on the pitch. Madonna opened it, Shakira and Burna Boy performed the tournament anthem, BTS and Justin Bieber followed, and Coldplay's Chris Martin closed things out with a children's choir from Staten Island. It split football in 2, a celebration for some, a needless distraction bolted onto the sport's biggest night for others. Whatever you thought of it, both teams now had to shake off nearly half an hour of standing around before the second half. There was politics in the stands too. US President Donald Trump was seated alongside FIFA President Gianni Infantino, and when he appeared on the big screen before kickoff and again later, boos rolled around the stadium. It was one of the most heavily attended, most politically charged finals in memory. The second half is where the tension boiled over. Spain kept controlling, Argentina kept chasing shadows, and tempers frayed. Leandro Paredes shoved Rodri hard in the back, away from the ball, and was booked as players from both sides squared up. The match had turned nasty. It's also where one of the night's stranger subplots played out. During the confrontation, Spain's Cucurella was seen briefly covering his mouth while talking to Messi, and under a new rule introduced this tournament, deliberately covering the mouth during a confrontation with an opponent can get a player sent off. Messi immediately appealed to referee Slavko Vincic. The referee waved it away. Officials ruled it hadn't happened during a genuine confrontational exchange, the specific threshold the rule requires. It wasn't the only time the rule came up this tournament. Paredes had tried the same appeal against Harry Kane in the semi-final, also unsuccessfully, but nobody had actually been sent off for it. Fans argued about the inconsistency for days afterward regardless. Then, right at the end of regulation, came the moment that truly shaped the final. Enzo Fernandez, already on a yellow card from earlier in the half, went flying into a challenge on the young Pau Cubarsí deep into stoppage time, reckless, late, and by nearly universal agreement a clear second yellow. Vincic didn't hesitate. Red card. Fernandez became just the 6th player ever sent off in a World Cup final. Even neutral pundits agreed it was the right call. Wayne Rooney called the challenge simply silly, but that didn't make it hurt any less for Argentina, who now had to survive extra time a man down against the best pressing side in the world. They very nearly did. 2 minutes into extra time, Spain thought they'd already won it. Nico Williams turned the ball home, and MetLife erupted. But the celebration lasted seconds. Referee Vincic had already blown for a foul in the build-up, ruling that Mikel Merino had stepped on Nicolas Otamendi's foot moments before the ball reached Williams. VAR checked it and upheld the call. It divided opinion immediately. Some pundits, including Alan Shearer on the BBC, thought there was barely enough contact to justify chopping off a goal in a World Cup final. Others backed the referee's red. Either way, the goal didn't count, and Argentina survived a little longer with 10 men. It didn't last. Less than a minute into the second period of extra time, Yamal worked the ball to the byline and found it back across goal, where substitute Ferran Torres arrived to finish it. In the 106th minute of the World Cup final, Torres, who had barely scored all tournament, won Spain the trophy. 16 years of waiting poured out in one roar. Which brings us to the 2 men this final will be remembered for, and neither of them is Torres. Start with the goalkeeper, because Emiliano Martinez had the game of his life and still lost. Playing behind 10 men for the last half hour, he racked up a double-figure haul of saves, a World Cup final record, and kept Argentina in a game they had no right to still be in. It's a bitter footnote for one of the sport's most polarizing figures, the single greatest goalkeeping performance a World Cup final has ever seen, and it wasn't enough. Argentina finished with 2 shots in the entire match. Neither was on target. Spain had 20 shots and 60% of the possession. And then there's Messi. This was supposed to be the fairy tale, a second straight World Cup, the final word on the greatest of all time debate. Instead, Spain did what almost nobody has ever managed. They erased him. 15 touches in the first half. 1 clear chance, snuffed out in the 5th minute. A late free kick that curled just wide was the closest reminder of the old magic. Spain simply never let him get the ball in dangerous positions. So the question hanging over the whole night, was that the last time we see Lionel Messi in an Argentina shirt? He's 39. He walked back from international retirement once before, in 2016, and went on to win everything there was to win. He's given no clear signal about what comes next. But if this was the end, it was a hard one, the greatest career the sport has produced, closing not with a trophy lift but with a defeat, outrun and outthought by a younger, hungrier team. For Spain, this was a coronation. An undefeated march through the toughest tournament ever staged, a single goal conceded across the entire competition, and a final in which the reigning champions barely laid a glove on them. Under Luis de la Fuente, this is a team built on a collective system rather than one transcendent talent, and at the front of it stands a 19-year-old World Cup winner who looks like the face of the next decade of football. As a spectacle, the final will divide people for years. Some will call it a tactical masterclass, others a foul-strewn grind decided on a red card with barely a shot on target in 90 minutes. Add the marathon halftime show, the political noise in the stands, and the mouth-covering controversy, and you have a final that will be argued about for a long time, not because it was a classic in the traditional sense, but because of everything that swirled around it. Spain are champions of the world, deserving and dominant. Argentina are left to wonder what might have happened with 11 men on the pitch. We'll never know. And somewhere, a 39-year-old may have just walked off a World Cup pitch for the final time, chased by a question that may never get a clean answer.